What if I told you there is an animal smaller than most dogs? One that some families are quietly using to bring in an extra $400 to $1,000 a month, right from their own backyard, without owning a single acre of farmland. No tractor, no barn full of cattle, no huge investment. Just a small pen, a little bit of daily care, and one specific breed of goat that almost nobody talks about compared to the bigger dairy breeds. By the end of this video, I am going to show you exactly how this works, what it costs to get started, how much milk you can really expect, and 3 separate ways people are turning this into real income. So do not click away yet, because the numbers coming up might genuinely surprise you. Welcome to my channel, Farm Equation. If you're new here, this is the place where we break down farming, homesteading, and small livestock into simple, real numbers that actually make sense. No fluff, no guessing games, no sugarcoating. Just the real information you need before you spend your hard-earned money. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Because today, we are talking about Nigerian dwarf goats. Now you might be wondering, why Nigerian dwarf goats specifically? Let's take a look. Let's start with the big question. Out of all the goat breeds out there, why are so many homesteaders, families, and even small business owners falling in love with Nigerian dwarfs specifically? There are actually 4 major reasons, and once you hear all 4 together, you are going to understand why this breed has become such a popular choice across the United States. The first reason is size and manageability. Mature does stand only 17 to 21 inches tall and weighs somewhere between 60 and 80 pounds when fully grown. That is smaller than a lot of dogs you probably have in your own neighborhood. Think about what that actually means for your family. Kids can help take care of them. Grandparents can help take care of them. Even someone who has never touched a farm animal in their life can safely handle a Nigerian dwarf goat without getting knocked over or dragged across the yard. Have you ever tried holding back a full-size dairy goat that does not want to be milked? It is a serious fight. With a Nigerian dwarf, that struggle almost completely disappears, and that alone makes daily chores so much less stressful. The second reason is feed efficiency, and this is where things start to get really interesting for your wallet. These little goats only need about 1/3 to 1/4 of the feed that a standard-sized dairy goat eats. Let that sink in for a second. If a big dairy goat is costing you a certain amount every single month in hay and grain, a Nigerian dwarf could be costing you 1/4 of that or even less. With hay and feed prices climbing across the country, that difference adds up fast, month after month, year after year. This is one of the biggest reasons people are choosing small breeds over large ones right now. The third reason, and honestly the one that surprises most first-time goat owners, is milk quality. Even though Nigerian dwarfs produce less total milk volume than bigger breeds, the milk they do produce is incredibly rich. We are talking about 6.5% to 10% butterfat. Compare that to a regular dairy cow, which usually sits around 3.5% butterfat. That is nearly double, sometimes almost triple. What does that actually mean in practical terms? It means the milk from these little goats can nearly double your cheese yield or your soap yield per gallon compared to regular milk. So even though the bucket has less liquid in it at the end of the day, you are getting far more usable product out of every single gallon you collect. And here is the fourth reason, one that a lot of beginner guides completely skip over. Most dairy goats only breed seasonally, usually in the fall, which means their milk production follows a strict yearly cycle whether you like it or not. But Nigerian dwarfs cycle year-round. This means you are not locked into one single breeding window every year like you would be with most other dairy breeds. You can actually plan out your milk supply throughout the entire year instead of dealing with one giant rush of milk followed by months of nothing at all. If you are thinking about turning this into any kind of income stream, that flexibility alone is a massive advantage over other breeds. So let me ask you this. Does a smaller, more efficient, richer, milk-producing goat that breeds year-round sound like something that could actually fit into your life? If your answer is even a little bit yes, keep watching. Because next we need to talk about what kind of space and setup these goats actually require. And I think you are going to be surprised at how little you actually need. Before you bring home any goats, you need a real plan for where they are going to live. And this is exactly where a lot of new goat owners get overwhelmed or talk themselves out of starting altogether. Here's the truth though. Nigerian dwarfs are genuinely simple to house compared to bigger livestock like cattle, horses or even standard-sized dairy goats. Let's start with indoor shelter. University extension programs recommend giving each goat about 15 to 20 square feet of indoor space. That is not a lot when you actually think about it in real terms. For a starter herd, let's say 2 does and 1 buck. A simple 3-sided shelter built at 8 feet by 8 feet is more than enough space for them to stay warm, dry, and protected from wind and rain. And here is the best part of all. You can build a shelter like that for under $300 if you are handy yourself or know someone who can help. You do not need a fancy heated barn with electricity and plumbing. Goats actually prefer simple, dry, draft-free shelters over big, complicated structures anyway, so building small and smart is actually the better choice here, not just the cheaper one. Now let's talk about outdoor space. You want to give your goats at least 50 square feet of outdoor exercise area per goat. But here is something important that a lot of new owners do not realize until it is too late. Goats absolutely love to climb. It is written into their nature. If you do not give them something appropriate to climb on, guess what they are going to climb instead? Your fences, your parked car, maybe even your porch railing or your outdoor furniture. So it is a genuinely smart idea to add some climbing enrichment like old cable spools, wooden platforms, tree stumps, or even large stacked rocks. This keeps them entertained, keeps their minds active, and keeps them off of things you really do not want damaged or scratched up. Speaking of fences, let's talk about the golden rule of goat fencing, because this one is absolutely critical. Your wire spacing needs to be 4 inches by 4 inches or smaller. Why does this matter so much? Because if a Nigerian dwarf goat can fit its head through an opening in your fence, the rest of its body is going to follow right behind it. These goats are curious, they are clever, and they will test and find every single weak spot in your fencing within the first week of arriving on your property. Trust me on this one. It is worth spending the extra money and time to get the fencing right the first time, rather than spending your evenings chasing runaway goats down the street. So at this point, are you starting to picture what a setup like this could realistically look like on your own property? A lot of people already have enough unused backyard space without even realizing it. You do not need acres of farmland. You need a small, safe, well-fenced corner of your yard. Let's move on now to what these goats actually eat. Feeding a Nigerian dwarf goat is not complicated at all, but getting it right does make a huge difference in their overall health and in how much milk they are able to produce. Let's break this down piece by piece. The foundation of their diet is hay. High-quality grass hay, or a blend of orchard grass and legume hay, works really well for these goats. On average, you can expect each goat to eat somewhere between 2 to 4 pounds of hay per day. This forms the bulk of what keeps their digestive system healthy and functioning the way it should, since goats are grazing animals by nature and their stomachs are actually built around a steady intake of fiber throughout the day. Next is grain. If you have a milking doe, she is going to need some extra energy to keep producing quality milk while also maintaining good body condition, especially during peak lactation. This usually means feeding about 1/4 to 1/2 pound of quality dairy goat pellets or sweet feed every single day. This is not something you need to feed to every single goat in the same amount though. Milking does need more nutritional support than bucks, or dry does, that are not currently producing milk, so adjusting the ration based on each individual goat really matters here. Water and minerals are just as important as the food itself. Goats need clean, loose, goat-specific minerals, available free choice at all times, meaning they can access them whenever they want. This is not the same thing as a cattle mineral block, so make sure you are specifically buying a mineral mix made for goats. Along with that, a milking doe needs about 1 to 3 gallons of fresh water every single day. If you are not providing enough clean water, you will actually start to see her milk production drop within just a few days. So this is not something to skip or shortcut. Here is a bonus tip that a lot of experienced goat keepers swear by, and it is something most beginners have never even heard of. Sprouted barley fodder. This is basically barley seeds that you sprout into a fresh green growth. It makes an excellent production boosting supplement. It is inexpensive to grow at home, takes only a few days to sprout, and can give your milking does an extra nutritional edge, especially during peak lactation when their bodies are working the hardest. Now let me ask you something. Does this feeding routine sound manageable to you compared to what you might have imagined before watching this video? Compared to feeding a full-sized cow or even a standard-sized dairy goat, this is a pretty light lift, both on your daily schedule and on your monthly wallet. All right, now let's get into the part everybody really wants to know about. How much milk are we actually talking about here? And is it really worth all of this effort? This is where a lot of people either get overly excited or sometimes a little too skeptical. So let's set some honest, realistic expectations right now. On a normal twice-a-day milking schedule, a healthy Nigerian dwarf doe is going to produce somewhere between 1 and 2 quarts of milk per day during peak lactation. That might not sound like a huge amount compared to a full-sized dairy cow, but remember what we talked about earlier. This milk is incredibly rich in butterfat, so a smaller amount actually goes a much longer way. As for the lactation cycle itself, a doe will typically continue milking for about 8 to 10 months after kidding. After that, she needs a mandatory 2-month dry rest period. This rest period is absolutely not optional. It is essential for her long-term health and for the health of her next set of kids. Think of it like giving her body a real chance to recover and recharge before doing the entire process all over again. So if you are running 2 does on a staggered breeding schedule, meaning they are not both kidding at the exact same time, you could actually have fresh milk coming in for most of the entire year. Remember, these goats can breed year-round. That consistent supply is a massive advantage if you are planning to sell products regularly or simply want fresh milk on your own table without long gaps. Now here comes the question. Can you actually make real money doing this? Let's talk numbers. The first income stream is kid sales. If you sell unregistered kids, you are usually looking at somewhere between $75 and $150 per kid. But registered dairy lines can jump up to $200 to $500 or even more. On average, a doe can produce about 2.5 kids per year across her breeding cycles. For a small 2-doe herd, that could realistically bring in somewhere between $600 and $1,800 a year just from selling the kids alone. The second income stream is goat milk soap. Handmade goat milk soap typically sells for $6 to $12 per bar at farmers markets, craft fairs, and online shops. And here is the best part. It is fully legal to sell as a cosmetic in all 50 states. That is a massive advantage. If you are selling somewhere between 60 and 100 bars a month, you could realistically be looking at $420 to $1,000 a month in revenue. That is a genuinely serious number, coming out of a small backyard operation. The third income stream is raw milk sales, and this one comes with a fairly big warning label. Raw milk typically sells for $8 to $15 per half gallon, but it is subject to strict state-by-state regulations. Research your specific state laws first, so when you add it all up, between kid sales and soap making alone, a small 2-doe herd genuinely has real potential to generate meaningful monthly and yearly income even before you factor in raw milk sales. Now let's talk about the actual startup cost. For a basic setup of 2 does and 1 buck, you are typically looking at a few $100s for the goats themselves, which can range from $150 to $400 each. Add in your shelter, fencing materials, feed, and supplies like a milking stand and buckets, and a lot of people are getting fully set up for somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000 total. Much cheaper than a dairy cow. Before we wrap this up, I want to walk you through a few common mistakes that a lot of first-time owners make, because avoiding these can save you real money and a lot of stress down the road. The first mistake is buying just 1 goat. Goats are herd animals, which means they need companionship to stay healthy. A lonely goat will constantly cry and can even become sick from stress. So always plan on getting at least 2 goats from the very beginning. The second mistake is underestimating their curiosity. As we talked about, Nigerian dwarfs are escape artists. Spending a little extra time and money on secure fencing at the start saves you from constant escape attempts later. The third mistake is ignoring hoof care. Goat hooves need to be trimmed roughly every 6 to 8 weeks. Skipping this leads to poor posture and even lameness over time. It only takes a few minutes per goat once you learn how. The fourth mistake is not planning for basic veterinary care. Goats need routine deworming, an annual CDT vaccine, and a relationship with a local vet. Budgeting a small amount each year for basic healthcare will save you far more in the long run. The fifth mistake is jumping straight into breeding without a plan. Understanding proper breeding age, nutrition needs, and kidding preparation is vital. Take the time to learn the full process before your first breeding season. Let's bring this all together now. Yes, Nigerian dwarf goats require dedicated daily care, about 30 to 45 minutes a day. But they ask for so much less while still giving back a highly profitable and versatile yield. Think about it. Easy to handle, low feed cost, rich milk, year-round breeding, affordable startup, and 3 realistic paths toward meaningful income. That is a compelling case for starting your own small herd this year. So here is my question for you. I actually want to hear your answer in the comments. Are you already raising Nigerian dwarf goats or considering starting this year? I read every single comment, so tell me what you're thinking. If this video helped you, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps the channel grow. And if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to Farm Equation so you do not miss our upcoming videos. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end, and I will see you in the next video.